Let's talk about one of the most universal feelings out there, disappointment. But more importantly, we're going to break down how you can turn that gut-wrenching feeling from a total dead end into a launch pad for your greatest growth.
I mean, have you ever been cheated on? Just completely betrayed by someone you thought you could trust with anything?
Or, hey, maybe this one's more your speed. Getting totally blindsided at work. Fired. No warning. And just like that, your sense of security is gone.
Or how about this one? You put in the hours, you worked harder than literally everyone else, you knew you deserved that promotion, only to watch them give it to someone else.
That sharp, bitter sting of disappointment. That weight in your chest. It's a feeling we have all had. You know? It's a kind of pain that connects every single one of us.
But here's a crazy thought. What if the very thing that felt like it shattered you is actually trying to build you? What if all that pain isn't just random, but a message?
You know, it really all comes down to one critical decision. A single choice that you have to make in that moment of hurt, and it determines whether you stay down for the count or you get back up, stronger than ever before.
Now, we've got to be really clear about something here. The choice we're talking about, it's simple. It's simple to understand, but that does not for a second mean it's easy to do. Knowing what the right path is and actually forcing your feet to walk it, totally different things.
So here it is. This is the choice. You can become bitter, you get stuck, you blame everyone else, you see yourself as a victim. Or you can choose to get better. You look for the growth, you learn the lesson, and you become a student of what just happened.
Let me show you how this plays out in the real world. I want to tell you a story about a guy named Gerald, who was trapped in what I like to call a comfortable prison. So Gerald absolutely hated his job. I mean, despised it. But hey, it was safe, it paid the bills, so he stayed. He complained all the time, but he never left. And then one day, boom, he gets fired. At first, he's furious. It's his boss's fault, the company's fault, everyone's fault but his. But then, after the anger started to fade, something really interesting happened. Getting fired kicked him out of that comfortable prison. Suddenly, his back was against the wall, and he had no choice but to finally trust himself. That pivot, that moment led him to start his own wildly successful business.
Just think about that for a second. The absolute worst thing that happened to him, getting fired, was the exact thing that needed to happen for him to find his greatest success. The pain, it became his teacher.
And this really points to a bigger truth about how we grow. It's about the wisdom of taking risks. See, we're all taught to be terrified of failure. But what if that's completely wrong? Failure isn't the period at the end of the story. It's just a bookmark, a placeholder telling you, hey, pause here, learn something, and then keep going.
Okay, now look at this chart because this is fascinating. If you take two people, the one who is more successful has, almost always, failed way more times than the person who's stuck. So why is that? Well, because every single failure is a piece of data. Every setback is a lesson that builds real wisdom. Playing it safe might feel safer, but it's a guarantee for less reward and way less growth.
Think of it like you're trying a new recipe, and it's a total disaster. You wouldn't just throw away all your pots and pans and swear off cooking for life, right? Of course not. You'd figure out what went wrong, too much salt, not hot enough, and you'd use that information to make the next one incredible. Your life works the exact same way.
All right, so how do we actually do this, right? How do we make that jump from bitter to better in a real practical way? Well, here is your roadmap. This is how you turn that pain into actual power.
So the next time something painful happens, before you get lost in all the emotion, I want you to stop and ask yourself these three incredibly powerful questions. First, what is this trying to teach me? That simple question immediately shifts you from being a victim to being an observer. Then you ask, what can I learn from this? This opens your mind up to all the possibilities. And finally, what have I learned from this? And that locks in the wisdom so you can take it with you.
And look, this isn't just for one type of problem. This framework is universal. It works for literally everything. A nasty breakup, getting laid off, a business that completely fails, a dream that feels like it's been shattered. Every single one of these has a lesson buried inside it, but only if you're willing to look for it.
Okay, this all leads us to the final, and I think the most important shift in your whole perspective. It's about changing the very way you see yourself and the challenges you face. It's about deciding consciously to become a student of life. And the first step is so simple, but so hard. You have to totally eliminate one question from your brain. Why me?
That question has no good answer. All it does is lead to bitterness and feeling powerless. It's the question that keeps you stuck.
It really just boils down to this. You have to make a choice to stop seeing yourself as a victim that life happens to and start seeing yourself as a student that life happens for. That one tiny change in how you frame things, it changes everything.
And if you're a student, then what does that make your setbacks? Well, they're your curriculum. They are the lessons designed specifically for you to help you grow into the person you're meant to become.
So, as we wrap this up, I've got a question I want to ask you. After everything we've talked about, what do you think is the #1 reason people get stuck and just stop growing? Is it fear? Is it blame? Or is it just that they don't even realize they have a choice? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it.
And let's just end on this one powerful thought. Disappointment is going to happen. It's inevitable, but it is also your greatest teacher. The lessons are there, but what you learn and who you become because of it, well, that part is completely up to you.